we can get started.
All
Cheers
right.
first to our podcast. Thank you so much, Neha, to be in my podcast. As
Sure.
you know, it's called Mindfulness with Manish.
Absolutely.
The reason why I started this podcast is to talk about mindfulness, which is being conscious, being aware, and this time being conscious about yoga because you come from a yoga background. I know you for past around 1.5 year, 1 year, something like that.
1 year.
1 year. We met in the yoga TTC, teacher training
Institute. Yeah.
yoga institute, and you have been helping me in the editing also. So you have you wear multiple shoes, multiple hats. We talk about a lot of things,
Okay.
but let's get started with your background first. Where you coming from? Can you tell me where were you born and what do you do professionally? And let's take it from there.
All right. So, firstly, thank you, Manish, for having me on your show. I think it's amazing to collaborate or be with you on the show and giving this platform to talk about health and wellness. I am actually born and brought up in Mumbai. So, my education comes from the Mumbai University. I have a degree in psychology and majors in economics.
Why did you change?
Uh, I didn't change as in I was always into this. Because
Fitness.
yeah, like when I was like 3 year old, I have been dancing since then. So I have a dance background. My background actually starts from dancing, the base, because I have been a very artistic person since my childhood. And then when I got into my college, psychology is something I could relate with. It was not clinical psychology, but social psychology. So I have a background from there. But then I did my majors in economics. But then from there on, like when I was in my junior college, I've been teaching since then. So it is like you can say passion.
When did dancing as a career started?
I was 3 year old. I had started taking my training, and from there on, when I went to my college, I already started teaching when I was in my junior college because I had my small academy, a studio where I had conducted sessions. So I would teach them. So that's how it went on. So basically, it was all about dancing first. But what happens is dance involves a lot of cardio, right? Now, when you do something related to cardio, there is weight loss. So obviously, when people who would come in my institute or in my class, they noticed that, oh, we are losing weight. So that's how they suggested, why don't you do something with the fitness as well? So the fitness thing, and I thought, okay, I was good in hula hoops, and people started participating in that. So I included normally my regular aerobics with the hula.
The circle thing.
So it's like a band, it's like a loop
Okay.
band.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's no joke.
I know it looks very easy. I've seen that,
Yeah.
but it's very difficult. I've tried that someday, but it's very difficult. It takes time.
It takes time. I have seen it in my class when I was teaching. So some of the students who were very good in dancing, but they took a lot more time compared to the ones who were non-dancers to get into the room. But someone who is a non-dancer, who came from a non-dancing background, could actually pick up the hook really well. So it's all about everything is in the mind, like you
Yeah.
said. You have to be mindful. You have to be present in the moment, but you can't be very conscious. If you
Right.
get very conscious about something, oh, you're not going to get it because it takes time.
Right.
Because then you're not focusing on what you're doing. You're focusing on, oh my God, the environment,
Yeah.
how the people around me are doing.
Are doing what they're thinking, then you will not be able to focus.
Exactly. That affects a bit.
Yeah.
But then if you're just clear from there and don't give a damn about anything, okay, just enjoy. Most importantly, I think you have to enjoy.
Just be mindful about
You have to be mindful and enjoy it.
it.
Rather than thinking too much about the outcome, I think you should be in the moment and just enjoy the process.
Right, right. Talked about your career as your profession, and then you were into dancing since your childhood, and then you moved towards fitness, as in the yoga.
I am someone who really likes to take care of the health of my body, and and that reflects in what I teach, how I teach. I wanted to learn what is meditation. I wanted to understand pranayams, the breathing techniques. So
You're focusing on your breath.
yes, I
Yeah.
think we're getting more calmer, and sometimes we need that.
They say that, like, for example, if we are stressed or depressed, our breathing pattern changes.
Absolutely.
We breathe more heavily,
The
right?
anxiety
So
kicks in.
at every point of our day or life, whatever we do, it changes up and down. And this pranayama actually helps us balance that. That's what I also learned.
It looks easy.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, it looks easy. It looks like, oh, when you look at someone just sitting in a Sukhasana pose or in a Padmasana pose and they're just focusing on the breath, you feel like, what are they doing actually? But they are doing a lot of hard work. It's tough because when unless you practice it yourself, I don't think you're going to understand it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to feel it, you have to go through it, and you have to experience it. And that's what I realized as a coach, that for me, any kind of physical exercises was very easy compared to the breath work, compared to the static pose, or compared to the moment where you're just not doing anything,
Exactly.
but you are actually doing a lot of work.
Actually, you're saying you're touching a very important point in a Ashtanga yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga. The more higher you go, the more difficulty level increases. I think so. Like for example, nam, niyam, asan,
Yama, niyama, asana,
pranayam, pratyahar,
dharma, dhyana, samadhi.
samadhi.
Yeah.
Right. So
8
asana
limbs.
is also, it's not easy also. Like there's difficult asana, intermediate and basic.
Actually, the thing is, if you look at the practicality today, I don't think if you observe the 8 limbs, I don't think any commercial coach would be teaching that. They don't.
No, they just teach the asana.
They don't teach because it all also depends on what kind of what is the demand like. So, like as a coach, if I observe people who come to me, mostly they have weight issues or they have fitness issues like flexibility. I have a corporate section, okay, so they have a very intense working background, working hours, like if you see, are very erotic, long. So for them, fitness is an issue. It's a desk job, right? Like if you're just sitting for long hours, I think it's difficult. So for them, they have spinal health issues, they have neck issues, they have shoulder issues. So many things. So
Right.
for them, it's more about the physical exercise. That ones who are coming with a lot of physical issues, they are actually also carrying the mental issues. Focus is more on the physical because that is visible. Anything which is visible, people want to focus on that.
Yeah.
Something which is internal and not visible, it's actually
They don't know whether they are having
they
that
don't
issue.
give the yes.
But as a healer, as a teacher,
we can see that, or we can
you can see
understand
that.
Yes, we can understand it. We can understand it from the pattern, from the behavior, body language, everything. Now, if someone I know is coming from a working background, but his issue is like, oh, I want to lose weight, but I can see there's a lot of anxiety, or I can see the person is too hyper, or maybe he's not able to just stay calm, or even for 2 minutes, staying calm for him is like, oh my God, it's a challenge. So you can actually understand. That's the psychology. So you have to understand that pattern, that behavior. You have to study that. You have to observe.
I understand what is psychology. Psychology, and help me understand, and correct me if I'm wrong. Psychology is study of mind,
Behavior,
and human behavior, emotions. And then when you combine that with yoga, that means you are studying the science behind mind, behavior, emotions of a person doing yoga.
If you are studying just the theory, you are going to just read the theory. You're going to understand certain patterns. But unless you are getting into the practical part, you're not going to experience or understand much. That's what I have observed based on my experience. Like, oh, that person has just come for 60 minutes in my class and he or she wants just to burn some calories. Let's just do it. But how? How am I teaching, or what am I teaching? That impacts them. So for them, you have to study the background a little. You have to understand the client, your students. You have to understand, right? Where are they coming from? What profession? What's the profession? Like, so I have so many people. Like I said, there's a corporate section. I have artists. I also have students. I have homemakers. Even they have a tough job. It's not easy.
Right.
So, nothing is easy. Job is a job. So even if someone is a homemaker, a full-time homemaker, that she's also going through a lot of stress. She's also doing a lot of work. So, and she's hardly getting time for herself. If she's pulling that 60 minutes out for her me time, that's a big thing, I think.
One thing which I've realized is like there's a lot of yoga teachers out there and they're only teaching the physical part, right? No one is caring about the mental part. You just join the class at 6 p.m. for example, and the class ends at 7 p.m. That's it. Let's do stretching, let's do Surya Namaskar, let's do that. That's it. Everyone is doing that. They are focusing on quantity than quality. That's what I'm saying. Tons of students come, like 50 students in online batches. In your classes, how you make sure quality is maintained?
Now that is something upon my students. Okay, I leave that to them. I leave that to my clients. If they are coming back to me, I'm sure they're getting something. And in my case, like I've seen most of my clients or my students, they have stayed with me for very long, say for like 4 years, 5 years. So I think maybe they have experienced something which helped them transform. So
That's why they keep on coming back.
Yeah, so I'm sure they must be saying something.
Yeah.
That, what does that mean? Probably you're getting some quality, or maybe you feel like, no, I can connect with it. And I think more than that, you have to relate. The coach and the student, they have to relate.
Right.
There should be a relation. You have to understand each other, especially like if you're online. Like you can see, like currently my classes mostly are now online, and which is global. It's very important that we understand each other. I think the person has to be very comfortable.
Yeah, in sharing.
Yes.
Some people don't share.
But that's the personal choice.
That's personal choice.
They don't have to share.
So you give extra time to every student after the class, or it's up to the student to tell, hey Neha, we want to talk about something. What happens?
After the class.
After the class.
During the session also, like I give a little break. They feel like talking something, they feel like something has come up in their mind, they want to share. Of course, they're free to do that. And I think that's a good thing, you should do it. Because that's how you are going to understand. And even I am going to understand. More than them, it's important I understand. Because I am the one whom they are trusting and they are coming to with their problems. So I have to be the problem solver for them.
Right.
And give them the time and space to be themselves. They have to be comfortable. And if they are comfortable, they start connecting.
Right.
Then they share the issues. Sometimes they feel like talking, then they don't. So you have to give them that time.
You have to
and
give
space.
them that space. Yeah, exactly.
Don't push them. Don't be don't be hard.
Whatever
on them.
comfortable to you, share.
Yeah. Most importantly, there is no fixed rule. Some people, they feel, okay, cardio, warm up, cardio, cool off, okay, that's the pattern, just go about. But I think let them be free. Let them be free. Let them try to understand their body.
I think I need to take one of your classes to also see how you do it, because I also take classes. It's the same, cardio and break, cardio break.
Okay, so yeah, maybe what you're doing is like you're going with the pattern, which is like if there's a book which is giving you a formula, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is your formula. But do you think 2 plus 2 is equal to 4? This formula can be applied everywhere to everyone? No. Because some might accept the formula and it might work well on them. But then there are some people who, might not be able to catch up with the formula. Then what? Then what are you going to do?
You have to change it.
You have to modify.
3 plus 1 is also 4.
3 plus 1 is 4. 5 minus 1 is also 4.
Right.
So you have to have that backup option. You have to have that understanding that no, I cannot just stick to one formula. Right? Like if you go to a doctor, do you think the doctor is going to prescribe everyone the same medicine? No, I don't think so. Because he has to understand what the problem is. So for some person, XYZ medicine works. But what if the other person is allergic to that same medicine?
Right.
And he has to think of something else, right?
Right.
Modification, understanding, creating that bond, and making them comfortable.
Right.
That's something very important. So many times, when I ask them, when they talk to them, they tell me that, oh, when we had joined before, it was so hard, it was so difficult, we couldn't just take it, and then we gave up. So you have to most make sure that the person doesn't give up. Trying to work out which I designed for them. It's not like a very short-term course. I cannot tell them, oh, I can help you in like 10 days.
In 1 or 2 days.
I cannot help you in 15 days.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a long journey.
Yeah.
So that is something they have to first have that patience.
Yeah.
And to have that patience, they have to be comfortable. So you have to tell them. You have to be very honest. You have to be honest and tell them that just because I want a client, I cannot crash that person's body in 1 month and I've given you that.
And also with the yoga is like you need to understand your body, right?
Absolutely.
So sometimes
any fitness, I think you have to understand your body.
Yeah.
Because see, if someone is doing gym, but what if the other person is not liking gym? So maybe that person feels that no, for his or her body type, yoga is good or dance is good. There are so many other ways,
Right.
so many different forms.
Right.
But then for some people, gym is really good. Of course, go on it. I mean, anything what you enjoy and you feel your body can align with, body and mind actually both.
With the yoga, the thing is, I feel yoga instructors are not just teachers, they are also motivational people or inspirational to others. Also, they are healers. I am a yoga teacher myself. People come to me for like some suggestions in their life, whatever they. But the teachers also need some inspirations. Like healers are also people who wants to like heal themselves, right? So how do they, like, how do we do it?
I think that's a good question and that's an important question. When you are the coach, you are a very disciplined person. It's a choice. You chose this. So somewhere you have to work on yourself. And more than motivation, your discipline comes in. Motivation fades off, but discipline stays. If you are a disciplined person, you will always be able to control your emotions better, your situation better. Because I think you have done a lot of work, inner work. You know, you have really done a lot of introspection. Maybe you have understood a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that you know everything. No. You cannot say that I know everything. No. Because every time in every stage of life you're learning and you're growing. So many things which you don't know. But sometimes when I teach others, I learn. I learn from them.
So you mentioned you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, right?
Yes.
So if you have discipline, then you can basically self-heal yourself basically.
And I think more than that, it's your choice. If you are into this profession, there are a lot of things which are going to come your way, and you have to know how to handle it. So that's a choice. So that's where I think you cannot give up, because you're a coach. If someone is looking up to you and you are a source of inspiration to someone, so you have to. It's very important how you carry yourself or how you project yourself.
Right.
That's important. That's a responsibility.
But sometimes I also feel like I'm a human being also. I feel low, I feel sad
You
sometimes
have your
because
moments.
the yoga taught me that, right? And even if I'm sad and stuff, I look at, like, there's a lot of self-healing out there. Even the teachers also go to other teachers to talk. And when you talk, I think talking is the best healing. If you share,
learn
yeah,
from each other's experience.
from each other inspiration. That is
Yes,
also, that is also the
absolutely.
thing.
But that's a big thing. Maybe what you just mentioned is that something about yoga which it taught you how to strengthen your mind, how to control your emotions, right? How to strike a balance. Even if you are going through some professional hurdles, but then you know that okay, it's a matter of time. It's just a phase, it'll go.
Exactly. And when, like, it's always ups and down, right? It's always day and night.
It's life.
It's like
life
it's
is never
sometimes-
like.
exactly flat, and that's the interesting part of life.
I
Is be
think
happy.
that gives you the chance and scope to improvise yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you can get better. In fact, I think I feel much better. So like if I'm going through something and if I have a class and I know I'm going to talk to that person or a group of people, I start feeling better.
Came to you for a trust because they trust you.
Exactly.
So you have to handle that with care. Understand?
That's my responsibility.
Yeah, that's your responsibility.
Yes.
Tell me one thing about the fitness trainers. Do they need to work out on themselves, or do you think once they are done with the teacher training, whatever, then they are just teaching and stuff, or do they need to be upgrading themselves at every point?
I think it's necessary for them to work on themselves, on their body, physically, mentally, both. I don't think once you have just attained the degree and then you're done, you can't have that mindset. Because what happens is, unless you work on your own body, you're not going to understand what problem your client or student is facing, right? Because you have to know what you're teaching. And before you teach, you have to practice it on your own self. After your workout, everyone goes through, a certain phase of soreness, which is natural. But as a trainer, if you don't work out, you're not going to experience that soreness. So what will you understand?
So you can't talk about soreness with others.
Exactly.
Example.
So if my client is telling me, Neha, today I'm feeling sore, or my stomach is so sore, my legs are sore, I have to understand that. I have to experience that soreness in my body, that what he or she is telling me. If I don't have that experience, how am I going to design the workout?
Exactly.
So I'm going to overstrain them.
So they need to keep on upgrading themselves, whatever
Of course,
going
they
on.
have to learn. I mean, I
Learn.
think it's very essential, because if you are not able to keep your own body fit, you are not qualified to do that or train someone else. Somewhere, what you see is you believe. Unless you are able to observe something, you cannot trust or believe it, right? You cannot. So if someone is observing you and they're looking at you, they feel, oh, she or he must be having a good lifestyle, or just look at the way he carries himself, or just see how he's conducting himself. That impacts. It is going to leave an impression
Right.
on someone who's observing you or trying to follow you or trying to learn something from you. it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. It's not like you have to be like a full 100%. No, you can have your own flaws, but you should know how to work upon them.
Right.
So if you are working upon them, that's what you can teach.
Right.
You can teach better. So I think as a fitness trainer, coach, yoga coach, you have to know your body.
The implementation part is the one that is challenging.
You have to execute it.
Right.
And if you don't have the quality to execute something, you cannot explain, or you cannot claim to know something which is important. Your execution also talks about your knowledge, how your exercises, your style of exercises, like what kind of exercises you do, what are your routines, what kind of patterns you're designing. So when somebody observes you, when you're executing that, it talks a lot about your own knowledge.
It's like saying, it's the same way saying that if someone goes to a college or a school teaching, right? So some teachers are good, some teachers are bad, right? People who are bad in teaching, maybe they are good in knowledge, they have a lot of knowledge, but the execution part is the one that is really important. And that's which is important for yoga instructors also.
Absolutely.
How they're teaching, how
you represent yourself.
Because some students, they feel it's boring, but how a teacher is making it interesting for them, how you are making it different and you are appealing to them, that is really important. Another thing is the trends of yoga or fitness industry.
Oh my God.
What are you looking at right now? We are living in 2024. 5 years, 10 years down the line, what are you seeing from your point of view? Where are we moving in terms of yoga or fitness?
Honestly, what I see is, if you look at the trends, it's too much about your face, it's too much about your appearance, and I think most of them are also misusing this. Have you ever studied facial yoga? No. The original base, which is our classical yoga, what we have studied, I don't think we had anything
like the massage that we
or
do.
You're pulling your skin, or I have a lot of cases where they ask me, can you do something for the chin? I have a double chin. So I said,
There's
okay.
exercises for that, double chin.
There are exercises, but do you think you can solve that problem with yoga? No, you can't. That's where I think most of them are fooling. You're not qualified in that department, so just don't do that. You are qualified in something else. Focus on that.
You should be honest in what yoga can do or cannot do.
Exactly. Why you have to be dishonest to someone?
Yoga cannot do things which plastic surgery can do, right?
You can't do that.
Both are different,
That's a different section. You're not qualified for that.
Yeah.
So there are people for that. Go to them. People take yoga as a big tool. Like they feel that, if you want to stay young forever, or you want to feel young, you want to feel young, that's a different thing.
That's all mind.
That's mind game. You can be
but
young.
But looking young is different.
That's different. But yes, your lifestyle, it plays. That your diet, your lifestyle plays a big role.
So one thing is not fooling the clients.
Yeah, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
If they have these kind of questions, you can just tell them, go to the right people.
There's tons of new yoga coming up these days.
Beer yoga,
dog yoga, which is puppy
cat yoga,
goat yoga, aqua yoga, and then there's a thing where basically it's like a thread or a cloth where you tie yourself and then
malkam.
Yeah. Rope. That yoga, and then partner yoga is something different. Yeah,
that's aerial yoga. But that is okay. That is still something which can be brought under gymnastics.
Yeah.
Okay, that is good. Don't try and teach them which is something not in your hands. You cannot handle it. That's not your expertise.
For example, if a student comes to you and asks you a question whether yoga can solve this, if you have experienced that yourself, then only say yes, otherwise no.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to work on your own self. You have to work on your own body. Stick to what it means, what it is going. It's not going to be it's going to eradicate your problems.
Right.
No, but it can help you maintain or try to tackle. Right? You can tackle the problem in a little better manner. You can have a different perspective towards life. You can have a different mindset towards life, different understanding. Yes, definitely. These are the factors which I think should be spoken about rather than the beauty and the cosmetic.
Right.
That's not yoga.
Another thing which comes to my mind when you talk about the trends is AI in yoga. AI is a hot topic these days. Everyone is going after artificial intelligence in fitness and yoga. Do you feel like yoga instructors will be replaced?
In fact, there were 2-3 people who have tried this with the bots. But the problem is what they said was like, so I asked them like, so why did you stop that? Why did you think that you needed a real human when you have that option? So like in my class they said, oh, after the class or during class, bots don't make us laugh, but you make us laugh. So you know.
They don't have a human touch.
Yeah, there's no emotion. Or another thing what you can say is if they are tired. If a person is very tired that day, but the bot is calculated it and said that, oh, you've still got like 30 more minutes to go and you have the stamina, so go for it, you can do it. But in reality the person is not able to do it. He's just overexerting himself. But a real trainer, a coach can see that, can feel it, because we are humans. So I might tell him, no, okay, take it easy. Let's not go so hard. Or let's just modify. I have something else for you. Try that. You might like it. And they do like it. They do feel better. And then they tell me, oh, thank you so much, we could pull it off. But probably when they don't have that coach, they don't have that real human, they
lose that touch.
They lose it.
I also think that human touch is very important. So I feel like
everything cannot be replaced.
Yeah, not everything. Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
There will be something which will be replaced, but something which we still need human touch for. So
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like. Yeah.
You need someone to operate AI, don't you?
Yeah.
I am not very sure what AI can do with yoga. With anything which is related to meditation, pranayam, breathing techniques, where you have to feel and understand. I don't know how much they can feel.
That is true. Yeah. It's a very deeper topic, and we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, our jobs are secure so far, but we'll see. Tell me one thing, right? So as a teacher, I'm also a teacher. You have a class of 20 students. It's very difficult to like ask someone, hey, you are feeling low, hey, you are feeling high.
If you have a people of 20 in a batch, I don't think that's such a big number that you can't handle it. I mean, I am very comfortable
just ask
in handling.
them.
I am very comfortable. I make an announcement. So for me, it's very important that you have a conversation. You have to talk it out first. Explain them. Give them those 5 minutes and just talk it out.
Just talk it out, the definition.
Yes, explain them. You have to do that. You can't just keep telling them inhale, exhale, up, down, right, left. No. You should know how to distribute the workout. Even if they are in a batch, it's a group and like there are 20 people instead of like 2 or 3, still you should be capable to handle it.
And that makes the teacher different compared to others.
You're more professional and skillful.
You are more professional. One funny thing with me is like it's very difficult for me to remember names of students. So whenever new students come, at the start of the class I tell them, what's your name, where are you coming from? They tell their name is Rashmi or whatever, and then I forget after 5 minutes.
So maybe you're not mindful enough. You should work on yourself.
Yeah. So it's fine.
No, but I think you should. You should.
That is important.
That's important. You are giving respect.
Yeah.
If you are remembering the name,
it's giving respect.
It's giving respect. It's very important. You have to respect your students, your clients, and they have to do that.
Right.
So unless you give that, you're not going to receive.
Exactly. Receive the same thing.
You have to give respect to receive the respect.
Right.
So it is to know somebody's identity and to remember, to have the recall value. I think that's respect. Because what happens is like, the moment when the person had introduced themselves, you have paid attention. But if you're not able to remember, then probably you must have not paid attention.
And attention is where mindfulness comes in.
Yes. What does that person think? Oh, when I told my name, when I introduced myself, she doesn't remember me. Is it not going to affect that person? He or she might feel bad.
Exactly.
So you have to give that respect. Giving respect is, I think, very, very important, more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's
Some
really
people take yoga as a Insta trend or fashion thing, where people do difficult poses and they try to do that and break their body, break their back, whatever. I've seen there was a actress, Shehnaz Gill. I saw her video. She has like some surgery on the lower back because she was trying to do the halasana, right? What I'm trying to ask is like people take yoga too seriously, where basically they try to do difficult poses. There's a step towards doing that difficult poses.
Okay, now see, that's a different thing. Now let me just tell you, all those videos which you watch, the ones who are executing those, you have to do a background check. How many years have they invested? They haven't done it in a day or in a fortnight. Okay, so that's not shown. That's the behind the scenes, the BTS. You have to understand that they are professionals. They have invested a lot of time and energy in those practices. But if you look at a beginner, if the beginner is watching something and I want to do this,
And then they do that, copy that. That's where the problem happens.
the problem is because they're not able to see those number of years. They're
And-
only just seeing that clip.
I'm just making a term, ego yoga, whatever.
Okay.
That's where the problem happens.
Ego. Actually, ego and alignment, they don't work. Ego and alignment never mix together because that is going to clash. If you are doing something based on ego, I don't think you're doing anything correct.
And yoga and ego are
Two
perpendicular.
opposites. The one who is doing it, I mean, I don't think that person just got up one day in the morning with a very rigid body and just did it. No,
You're gonna hurt your back, and then you're gonna be spending years and years in hospital. What is
How
the use
can
of
you
that?
do that? That's what people have to know, that it takes time. You need to have patience. More importantly, you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key. If your goal is no, I have to be fit or I have to achieve that pose, then you have to put that effort.
Every day.
Put that effort every day. You don't have to do something like, oh my god, out of the box. No. Do simple basic things, but do it every day.
Right. What challenges do you face as a yoga instructor?
Challenge would be, I think, to convince someone to be patient or to teach someone to give time more than anything else. Give time to yourself because people are very impatient nowadays. They want quick results. But the biggest challenge what I feel is how to control the mind.
For as an instructor or for teaching them controlling mind to
Both.
students?
Both.
Okay.
Both, because I work on that myself. How do I control the mind even more, make it more calm or make it more empty? Because that's a challenge. And when you can do that, you can teach that better.
Cool. I think we talked a lot about different parts of yoga. Any last advice or closing thought you want to give to the audience?
I can only say that keep it easy, keep it going, keep it simple. You don't have to be very complicated, and at the very end it's your life, it's your health, your choice. Rather than making something else your priority, work on yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself, invest in your health, take care of your body, because tomorrow it will thank you.
Right.
So what I feel is, if you are taking care of yourself, honestly,
body
you
will-
can take care of others even better. Because it reflects. Anything what is inside is going to reflect outside.
Right.
It can benefit your partner, it can benefit your family.
That's an awesome thought. If you take care of yourself, then body will take care of you and you can take care of others also.
Absolutely.
First, invest into self-healing.
Yes, you can't be dependent. You can't expect others to take care of you.
Exactly. You have to be self-independent.
No one can do that.
Yeah.
No one can. See, beyond the point, no one can do that.
Right.
And I don't think we should be dependent. And that way you can take care of your external things better. Because it's going to influence others.
Right.
It rubs off on others.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much, Neha, to be in my show. The yoga is very deep topic. We can keep on talking and talking. Maybe we can have another conversation about another topic in yoga. But so far, I think thanks for your time. I wish you
Thank
luck
you.
and
Thank
have
you,
a
Manish.
have a
Thank
good
you
yogic life.
Yeah, thank you for actually inviting me on your show. I think I'm honored, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm also honored to have a guest like you. You share a lot of knowledge. I learned a lot. I hope audience also learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.